watching Game Show Network.
Got 2 minutes? Got a telephone?
Got Game Show Network? Then get a PIN number. With a PIN number, you're eligible to play any of our interactive games. And you could win big. All you have to do is lift your finger once.
It's fast. It's fun. It's free.
Only on Game Show Network.
Register once and play forever.
Ladies and gentlemen, Gary Moore.
Hi. Hey there. Welcome to Tell the Truth. This trapeze, from which I'm so gaily swinging, suspended 20 feet in the air, is one of the pieces of apparatus that is used by a famous health club here in New York called the Gala Exercise Club. It caters to many famous theatrical people, including, amongst others, the entire cast of the Broadway show 1776. And as many years as it's been since I've done this, you wouldn't believe that I could keep swinging up here like this, suspended only by my hands, for hours at a time. But I really don't swing the kind of game anymore. We're going to meet the director of that club as soon as we say hello to the panel here on To Tell the Truth. Bill Cullen.
Bill Cullen. Peggy Cass. Orson Lee. And Kitty Carlisle.
Well, I want to tell you, I'm exhausted just faking that thing. And I don't know what to say about you ladies. You are both so chic. What color is that, Peggy?
I think it's Carl.
Carl?
Yes.
That'll drive the viewers at home crazy. Friends, tune in to Carl. That's in the... and yours is...
Moss green.
Moss green.
Yeah.
Oh, very nice.
My tie cost $1 at Cardinal on Broadway.
I thought you'd
Got
swipe
a naked lady inside. I don't want to show.
Well, we've been talking about this Gala Exercise Club. Let's meet the man who runs the Exercise Club.
Number 1, what is your name, please?
My name is Gary Novicki.
Number 2.
My name is Gary Novicki.
Number 3.
My name is Gary Novicki.
All right, our job is to find out which of these gentlemen is indeed Gary Novicki. Here is his story. I, Gary Novicki, am the co-owner of an unusual physical fitness studio called Gala Fitness. My course begins with simple bending and stretching exercises. The next step, however, involves doing headstands, handstands, and tumbling. As you begin to master and control your body, you will then proceed to work on rings and trapeze, similar to those used by circus performers. Before you know it, you are flying through the air with the greatest of ease. Actually, performance is secondary to enjoyment. It's important to feel good about what you're doing. And if you do, you will then look like $1 million. It's as simple as that. Incidentally, I have separate classes for men, women, and pregnant women. My list of fit, firm, and fascinating friends includes Florence Henderson, Van Johnson, Robert Horton, and the wife of To Tell the Truth's own Bill Cullen. Signed, Gary Novicki. And while we're trying to think of some high-flying questions, let's balance the books out here.
Inside this precious...
Now remember that each of these stalwart gentlemen claims to be Gary Novicki, the man who runs the Gala Exercise Club. And we'll start the questioning with a man who, believe it or not, has never seen his own wife perform on the flying trapeze.
Or anywhere else.
Bill Cullen, you want to start?
No, I haven't seen her on a flying trapeze, but ever since she's been going to this place, which is about 4 years, I think, every morning when I wake up, she's on a chandelier.
You give her a banana to start the day?
Give her a banana, an orange juice, and coffee, and it's... well, let's see. Number two, how much does one of these sessions cost?
It costs $5.
You darn right it does, number two. Number one, is there any hopes of the price of the sessions being reduced?
Well, I don't think so.
Oh, well, into each life, I suppose. Number three, what is an inlocate?
It's opposite of a dislocate.
Okay. Okay. Number two, what is a dislocate?
It's the opposite of an inlocate.
And for that, you pay $5 a lesson, right? Okay, Peggy.
4 years.
Number one, which studio in New York invented these exercises originally? Number one,
Excuse me, please.
which studio invented these things originally? There was one man who started all this
Yeah,
stretching.
he started Kanowski.
Thank you. Number three, what's a spread eagle?
Spread eagle?
Yes.
I don't know. It's not a gymnastics term.
You never
so
played
far
on a
as I
jungle
know.
gym. Number two, do you accept children?
We do, but we don't encourage it.
Why?
Well, most kids are the same about this kind of work as they are about everything else. They don't have the discipline.
Oh, I see. Number one, do you get a monthly rate instead of $5 a shot?
No, we don't.
Oh.
Thank you, Peggy. Let's go to Orson.
I have often gone to Karnofsky's, and I've managed to achieve one of it's the headstand against the wall with the ankles secured by the instructor. It's difficult. Not many of us achieve that. Number three, where do the poor people go to exercise? All the rich people go to your place, Karnofsky's, and the other classy ones. What do poor people do? Just run around to try to get away from the cops, or what?
Oh, I wouldn't think so. I think we have all kinds of people, poor
Yeah?
and rich.
Whether you're rich or poor, if you got $5, you can go there. That's not bad. Number two, what's the dropout rate? How many people start and then don't continue it?
Well, I haven't figured out the actual percentages. I probably...
It wasn't much of a question. One of the
Well,
best I
no.
could come up with. It's not a lot I want to know. Oh, thank
I
you.
imagine there are a lot, though, actually. A lot of people do start things like that
I
and
didn't
give up before it's over.
really care, Gary. I was
Oh, all
I
right,
wanted to hear the
Orson.
sound of his voice. That's all. I often judge by the sound of the
You
voice.
got something.
And I might vote for a man if he has how long have I been sleeping.
Okay, Katie.
Number three, do your exercises combine yoga?
Some yoga, yes.
And number two, do you have classes or do you teach individually?
Both.
And number one, Gary said something about you have classes for shows around town. How does that work?
For shows?
Yeah, didn't you say
No,
something
no,
about
I didn't say anything like...
1776?
Oh, yes, the cast of 1776 goes to
The
these
whole
classes.
class goes.
Yeah, only some stars are coming to our studio.
Oh, I see, not the whole class.
No.
Now, number three, were you a gymnast to start with? Do you know exactly what not to do? Because once they had to carry me off the parallel bars, and I crawled on my hands and knees to the chair. I couldn't get up.
Yes. Halfway decent.
Guess
gymnast
what? I had to
myself.
crawl or you know.
I do know what to do, yes.
You know what not to do, I hope.
All right, Gilead does this in. Questioning period is over. Voting time has arrived. We mark our ballots either for 1, or for 2, or for 3. $50 if we get a wrong guess, $500 if all of the guesses are wrong. And Bill Cullen, you're $5 each time, so you might as well start.
I don't find Kitty's experience unusual. They had to carry me off from a party the other night, Kitty, and I was on my hands and weeks for a day. I mean, hands and knees. I'm nervous about this, and you'll see why later. I know one thing. Everyone voted?
Yes.
Right. Well, I won't say that anyway. Number one looks like a fellow who's been getting $5 a session from me for 5 years. He looks at me with that look in his eye like he knows something I don't know, and I wonder what it can be. But I voted for number one.
All right, there's 1 for 1 and Peggy Cash.
Well, number one looks as though he's a weightlifter. Number three looks as though he's a weightlifter. Number two, I think he's throwing us off by that sweater. I think it's number one. He has a proprietary air.
Okay, there's 2 for 1. And what does Orson say?
Well, I'm going to stick with Karnofsky's because the cast of Old Calcutta goes up there to exercise. It's not bad, better than 1776. Unless you dig powdered wigs.
I do.
I am going to... I'll keep telling you, you pick out the ones you like.
You were on your way somewhere and you got
I'm gonna go
lost.
for number 3 because he looks like handsome Michel Bonnemore, who's the fellow that holds my ankles when I do the headstand at Karnofsky.
All right, so we've got 2 for 1 and 1 for 3. And Kitty, how are you going to vote?
I'm going to vote for number 2 for a very simple reason. He said that it's hard to have children in classes like that because they really don't have the discipline, and I know that's true.
You're not allowed to have children in classes. It breaks, disturbs the whole thing. That's right, while that's going on. So the votes are all in. Will the real Gary Novicki please stand up? There he goes. Good lad, Orson. Let's check out your buddies over here. Number 1, you got 2 wrong votes. What's your real name, please, and what do you do?
My name is Milan Galovic, and I'm working as a salesman for Electrolux company, which is manufacturing home cleaning products like vacuum cleaners, etc.
Uh-huh. Athletic-looking number 2, you got 1 vote for your jersey there. What is your real name? What do you do?
My name is Dan Wexler, and I'm an astrologer.
Hey there. Well, I'll tell you what we're going to do, Gary. This is really extraordinary. And Bill Cullen, remember, has never seen his wife on the flying trapeze. It's time that you got a chance to see what you're getting for your money.
You know, I'm scared.
Huh?
I'm scared.
Wait till you see what she's done. I saw this before the show.
You got a net?
Bill's lovely wife, Ann, is here. Now, as we know, Bill has never seen her do her stuff until today, so who better to explain the tricks than Bill? We're going to ask you to do a running commentary.
I don't know what she's doing. I've never been there.
You're an announcer. You used to be a sports fellow.
Okay.
Look and describe.
All
And here
right.
we go. And, Gary, you better get over there in
Okay.
case, just to give her a hand.
Yeah,
you know.
get over
Here
here.
is Ann Cullen. Let's say hello to Ann. Hey.
The fella's got his hands around her waist.
Never mind that. Just tell about the tricks.
She's swinging, and oh, she went up. Will you be careful, dear?
Look at that, Bill.
There she is. Oh, look at that. That's a dislocate.
Wow.
She's now taking advantage of our Medicare policy. My wife is upside down. Hey, you look good from this angle, honey. Would you believe that?
Isn't that something?
Hey, that's very good.
Look at that. Hey, a regular flying running help. That's something? Now, watch it.
Don't jump.
How's that for control? Watch this for balance.
Don't take another shot at it.
Hey! Hooray! Marvelous. Thank you very much. Thank you, Gary. Thank you, imposters, on behalf of the Tell the Truth. Great. Aren't you amazed, Bill?
That was sensational.
That was worth every penny of your money.
It certainly was, yeah.
And pleased and proud?
Yeah, and $5 every time she goes poorer. But it's all right. It's well worth it,
It
Gary.
is. And not a
because-
hair out of place.
No, I noticed that.
Oh.
Yeah,
She's learned that impossible trick, too, of smiling while she's doing all those terrible
well, I
things.
know half of that. I can do the smile. I sit here and she does it. I was scared.
I don't blame you.
She fell off.
Well, now, forging ahead, you know, one of the great old popular songs had a title that said, "It's a sin to tell a lie." And that's the way that most people feel about it. But our next guest on To Tell the Truth says that not only is it not a sin, but that in some cases it may indeed be a very good deed. We'll find out more about lying right after a few very truthful messages. Well, now, boy, it's fascinating. All kinds of tests you can take and everything. Let us meet our expert on lying.
Number 1, what is your name, please?
My name is Robert L. Woke.
Number 2.
My name is Robert L. Woke.
Number 3.
My name is Robert L. Woke.
And here is Dr. Woke's story. Listen carefully. I, Robert L. Woke, am sure that the truth of the matter is that everybody should know how to lie. As a psychologist, I have done research into the kinds and uses of lying in modern life, from the white lies told by a mother to a child to the rather more sophisticated lies told to the public by men in high office. We're always taught that lying is bad, wrong, and evil. But the true story is that lying is often the only way to behave. Telling a quaking teenager that she looks wonderful in her party dress may be a lie, but it is also an act of loving kindness. Too many people feel a sense of guilt after lying because they don't truly understand the need for kindly and judicious falsehood. I have written a book telling how and when to lie. My book is called The Right to Lie, a psychological guide to the uses of deceit in everyday life. Signed, Dr. Robert L. Woke. And we'll start the questioning with Honest Kitty Carlisle.
Oh, thank you. I'm glad you said that. Number 3, what kind of a doctor are you?
A psychologist.
Ah, and number 2, I agree with you about the teenager, but why do you approve of men in public life lying?
Because those are the facts of life, and very often it is essential for public policy and essential for the smooth running of government.
Do you really believe that?
I just said I do.
Hey, well, but maybe you're the liar.
That's possible.
Thank you, Kitty. Let's go to Bill.
You realize if everybody in this world suddenly stopped lying, we wouldn't have a show anymore?
I hadn't thought of that.
Because 2 people have to lie. Number 3, define a lie in that sense of the word, number 3, please.
Well,
Yes,
it's
simply.
a falsehood. It's something that is not true.
But if somebody, number 1, I'll direct this to you, sir. If somebody comes up to me, a girl, and she says, I look absolutely awful, and I really think she looks absolutely awful, if I tell her she doesn't, that she looks quite nice, is that a lie, number 1?
Yes, it is. Certainly it's a lie.
That's a lie?
Yes, it is.
Number 2, is it possible then to go through a given day, any intelligent person, without telling a number of lies, number 2?
That would be a very foolish way of spending a day.
I think you're quite right.
Thank you, Bill. Let's go to Peggy.
Well, number 1, is your idea of a really peachy day to go around lying for 12 hours?
If it's a thing that you think you should do, yes, you certainly should do it.
Thank you. Now, number 2, supposing a teenager had acne, and she said, how do I look? And I said, well, you look good, but you should go to the skin doctor. Don't you think that's better than telling her she looks great?
Certainly it is.
Well, that's the truth.
I am not advocating that we lie continually, only lie when it is appropriate to lie.
Well, now, number 3.
Thanks, Peg, and that takes us to
I'm
Arson.
in a terrible hurry.
Number 3, do you remember a play called Nothing But the Truth? Bob Hope made a movie out of it. It was about the trouble a man got into by telling nothing but the truth for 24 hours. Number 1, when is it appropriate to lie to the teenager that her dress looks nice, and when is it appropriate to say you really should take the dress in?
Well, you shouldn't lie to the teenager and tell her that the dress looks good when you think perhaps it doesn't. But say it does and make her feel a bit more secure in the situation.
Well, number 2, then, should it depend on whether she realistically could get the dress changed or not? If she's about to go out with her boyfriend with a terrible gardenia pinned on her, you don't want to tell her that the dress don't look good.
This may be one of the conditions.
Well, number 3, how do you expand this into a whole book? What's the general thesis of your book about lying?
Well, the various techniques in lying and how they occur, man, lies,
Well,
man,
you
woman.
think people lie ineptly? Is that why you wrote the book, or?
Well, in many cases, yes.
Well, our politicians seem to lie pretty well.
I think it was the late Herb Schreiner who once said that you should always say something nice to a girl no matter what it was. He said he used to, every time he meet a girl in the street, if he couldn't think of anything to say, he'd say, well, hey, see your skin cleared up. It made us feel good, you know?
Well, you don't sweat much for a fat girl.
Time for us to vote now, and we vote as usual for number 1, or we vote for number 2, or we vote for number 3. $50 in the event that we make a wrong guess, $500 if everybody guesses wrong, and Kitty, you have to start. Had you not marked your ballot?
No. Well, I voted for number 2 because we asked him the most questions. He gave us some very good answers, and he defended his position hotly.
All right, 1 for 2, and we go to Bill Collins.
Maybe it's because I'm a coward, but I certainly tell white lies. I don't. If someone I never tell anyway, it's when we got a spot like this with a doctor who wrote a book, you figure it's not the guy with a beard because of producers, but number 2 was so good and he had such good ideas on the subject. In spite of the beard, I voted for number 2 also.
All right.
Telling the truth about the beard. by the
And
way.
Peggy?
I voted for number 3 because I think he's the kindest.
Oh, that's kind of sweet. And we go to Orson.
I voted for number 2 as well. My reasoning was, I'd rather not go into this one. They don't all come out. You know, Rembrandt's floor was littered with...
I'll not ask about that.
starts there.
But in any event, you voted for number 2. So it's 3 for 2 and 1 for 3, and the time has come. So will the real. Dr. Wolf, please stand up. Hey there! How about that? Good. Dr. Wolf will be back to you in a half a moment. Let's check out your friends here. Number 1, what is your name, please, and what do you do?
My name is Noel Glucksman. I'm Agro Products Manager for American IBC Corporation in New York, International Borderers and Financiers.
Uh-huh. Number 2, you were most impressive with 3 votes. What is your real name, please, and what do you do?
My name is Dr. Robert L. Wolf, and I am the author of The Right to Lie, and this man is a liar.
You sneak! You big sneak! You big sneak! That's the sneakiest thing. You're not only a liar, you're a sneak.
Oh, don't hit him, Peggy. Number 3, good job. What is your real name?
I'm not sure I should say so. Miss Kastner got after me. My name is Tate Brand. I'm a systems analyst with IBM.
Peggy voted for you anyway. Dr. Wolf, it worked like a charm. Thank you very, very much, and thank you, imposters, for being here with us on To Tell the Truth. Great job. Survey set. Yeah! I could tell you that we've had fun being with you today, but you think I was lying. Yeah. Come back tomorrow and we'll try again. Take care.
Promotional consideration provided by American Airlines. Traveling on business or traveling for fun, it's good to know you're on American Airlines. This is Johnny Olson speaking for To Tell the Truth, a Mark Goodson, Bill Todman production.
There is no one we would sooner introduce than Wally Bruner, the host of What's My Line? Coming up next on Game Show Network.